Hello everyone, it's V. If you got my recent reaction to the new HBO Harry Potter trailer, my head is kind of spinning. Whether you're ready to head back to Hogwarts or you're feeling a bit of a reboot fatigue, there is no denying that this is going to be the biggest television event of the decade. And I have some very specific reasons why I'm strapping in for this 10-year journey, and I think you should consider joining me. As many of you know, I am a longtime fan of this franchise. Harry Potter has been a massive part of my life, and despite how much I love the original films, I am genuinely excited to see where HBO takes this. There's a certain thrill in seeing a world you know by heart through a fresh lens. However, I'm not just going in with rose-tinted glasses. I want to develop a truly critical opinion on this adaptation. Is it a necessary retelling, or just a live-action version of a live-action movie? I plan on dissecting every episode in detail here on the channel, looking at the lore, the pacing, and how it stacks up against the source material, so we can really figure out if it earns its place alongside the classics. Beyond my own curiosity, I know my community and the people I hang out with on stream are going to be all over this. I want us to be able to have those deep, nice discussions about everything, from the casting of the new trio to the way they handled the darker subplots. Plus, the timing could not be more perfect. The series is officially set to premiere on Christmas Day 2026, and for me, Harry Potter has always been a Christmas watch. There's just something about the cozy, magical atmosphere of the early stories that fits perfectly with the holiday season. It is a tradition for me, and having a brand new episode to dive into while the winter vibes are high sounds kinda like a dream. One of the biggest technical reasons to be optimistic is the sheer scale of the project. HBO is treating this as a 10-year commitment, with the first season consisting of 8 episodes dedicated entirely to the Philosopher's Stone. This extended runtime means we're finally going to see the book details the movies simply didn't have the time for. I'm especially looking forward to seeing Peeves the poltergeist finally making his screen debut, as well as more localized book moments like Harry first meeting Draco Malfoy at Madame Malkin's robe shop rather than in Hogwarts. The trailer already hints at a much rawer, more grounded look at Harry's life at Dursley's, proving that the show isn't afraid to lean into the darker, less sparkly atmosphere of the original text. Another fascinating change is the move towards show, don't tell, with Harry's early trauma. The trailer features a visceral sequence where Aunt Petunia violently cuts Harry's hair, a famous book moment that the movie skipped entirely. This shift suggests the series will explore Harry's internal world and emotional scars much more deeply, making his escape to Hogwarts feel even more earned. We're also getting a Succession-level creative team with Francesca Gardner and Mark Mylod at the helm, which promises a high-end, prestige drama feel rather than a simplified children's story. This level of production quality is exactly what is needed to distinguish this from a mere cash grab reboot. The series is also stepping outside of Harry's direct perspective to provide a broader look at the wizarding world. We have had hints that we might see more of Draco Malfoy's home life and the pressures of the Malfoy family before he even arrives at school. This expanded universe approach with the main story allows for deeper world building and the character development that a 2-hour film could never accommodate. Additionally, with the original title, The Philosopher's Stone, being used globally, it feels like a deliberate nod to book purists and a sign that they are prioritizing the original UK identity of the series. Watching these new young actors like Dominic McLaughlin, Arabella Stanton, and Alistair Stout grow up in real time over the next decade will kind of be a unique experience. Unlike a film schedule where actors often outpace their characters, HBO is aiming for a production rhythm that keeps the golden trio at the right age, allowing us to see their genuine evolution from children to young adults. It's a massive undertaking, and I'm kind of ready to jump back into the wizarding world with all of you to see if they can truly pull it off. However, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a massive anxiety sitting alongside all that hype. There is a real worry that this could end up feeling redundant, a shot-for-shot remake that lacks its own soul. When you see the same sets or hear familiar musical cues in the trailer, it triggers that fear that they're just leaning on nostalgia rather than creating something new. I'm also genuinely concerned for the young cast. Stepping into the roles as iconic as Harry, Ron, and Hermione, while the internet is already this divided, is a heavy burden for children to carry. There's so much pressure on them to live up to a perfect legacy, and seeing the intense backlash already brewing online makes me worry about the emotional toll a 10-year production might take on them. There's also the very real reboot fatigue that many of us are feeling. With a $2 billion total budget, the stakes are impossibly high, and if the show fails to justify its existence within the first few seasons, it risks fracturing the fandom forever. I find myself oscillating between being absolutely ready to board the train and wanting to stay on the platform to protect my original memories of the series. This tension is exactly why I want to dissect it with you all. We are going to look at the grayscale visual choices, the controversial casting of characters like Snape, and whether the slow burn TV format actually works for a story we already know by heart. If you missed it, I actually did a massive Harry Potter games marathon recently, where I revisited everything, from the old school gems to the modern hits. I'll leave the link to that in the description if you want to see me lose my mind over some retro platforming before the show starts. Let me know in the comments if you're feeling more anxious or more excited about this new era. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and bye bye.